So as you can see here, I have my avocado, and I left this in water for too long, and you can see what has started to happen to the avocado. It's dying. Hi guys, my name is Joy from Succulents Kenya, and today we're going to talk about water propagation for beginners and mistakes to avoid. So what is water propagation? Water propagation is the process of taking a cutting from a mother plant and creating a new plant, basically creating a baby out of a mature old plant. So you can do this either in soil, water, moss, any growing medium. So in this video, we're going to talk about water propagation. So water propagation is basically taking the seed cutting from a plant and putting it in water, hoping to develop roots that look somehow like this. So the first step that you need is scissors, clean scissors, sharp scissors. You can use any kind of scissors. So I'm going to be using these paper scissors. The plant you're planning to propagate, and water. So the first step is identifying the part you want to propagate. So you can propagate either from a node or just cut anywhere. So I'll cut here, a fresh clean cut like that. Then remove the lower leaves. Yeah, just like that, and you have an open cutting, as you can see. And then take the water, take the plant, here's your water, and put it in water. And then wait for the roots to form, and that's it. So plants with a flesher stem tend to root faster compared to plants with a hardy stem. So this would take 2 weeks to form roots, but plants which have a hardy stem would take 1 month to 6 months to root in water. So this is a hardy plant, as you can see. This took 3 months to form these roots that you can see here. So yeah, this is a fiddle leaf fig that's rooted in water. Mistakes you need to avoid when you're water propagating. So the first mistake is not putting your water propagation in a place where they receive light. So you need to put your plants in a place where they receive adequate light to help the roots grow faster and grow in a healthy way. If you don't put the plant in adequate sunlight, what happens is it will take longer to root, or it may not root at all. So the number one key here is, once you're propagating anything, make sure you place it like on your windowsill, not direct light, where they receive some light, some form of light. Don't place them in a dark room or like in the middle of your table, and your table receives low light. Your plant will take forever to root in water. Neglecting to change the water. So what happens when you neglect to change the water is the water tends to form algae, or it just becomes black, and then also the roots get damaged, and also mosquitoes can start laying their eggs. So this is an example of water that's not been changed. As you can see, it's not very clean, it's dirty, and then it starts eating up on the plant. Mistake number 2 is submerging the leaves in water. So if you submerge the leaves in water, they start to rot and become black, and obviously that interferes with growth and also the health of the plant. So like here, the leaves were submerged in water, as you can see. So if you want to avoid that, which can eventually end up killing the leaf and also killing your whole propagation, try put as water like very little, and then change the water at least once in 2 weeks, minimum once in 2 weeks. You can also do it once in a week. Yeah. Another mistake that people make is leaving the roots in water for too long. So as you can see here, I have my avocado, and I left this in water for too long, and you can see what has started to happen to the avocado. It's dying. So avoid leaving the roots in water for too long. Another reason why you should avoid leaving the roots in water for too long, if you leave the plant in water for too long, it will not grow new shoots. So if you remove the plant like this one here, if I put it in soil after staying in water for almost 1 year, chances of this plant actually growing past this are very minimal. So what I usually do is just once I put the plants in water, I just call them aquatic plants. They now become aquatic plants because once you pass the 6 month mark, it's over for you. There's no point. There's no point of putting it in soil because once you put it in soil, after leaving it in water for too long, is you will wait for new shoots. You will wait and wait and wait. And what's the point? You can just use the plant as decor and just put it anywhere in the house. Yeah. Another mistake that people make is removing the plant from the water too soon. So here I have 2 plants which have been in water. These 2 are actually chevrellas. So chevrellas are actually hardy plants and they're very resilient. So this was a stem. This was a part of a stem that looks like a leaf. I put in water and you can see it only has 1 root. So I can't pot this. This one here also has 2 small roots. I'm very skeptical about removing it in water because also removing it in water too soon or from the bottle, the roots are not firm and the roots might break. So avoid doing that. Let the leaf at least, the stem, the cutting at least grow some roots, like 1 inch size of roots, and not only this is obviously 1 inch long, but like a couple of roots to be held by the soil. So maybe like 4, 3, 6 roots onwards. Yeah. And the last point is do not water propagate plants that can easily root in soil. If you want to hasten the process, or if you're trying to multiply your plants faster, chances of new shoots coming out faster in the soil, chances of shoots coming out in the soil are higher compared to shoots coming out in water. So what happens in the water thing is the plant will develop roots, but it's very hard. It's very rare for you to spot new. It's very rare for you to spot new shoots coming up. So for those who don't know, water propagation is a very long process that requires patience. So if you're not patient, especially with hardy plants, do not even try water propagating because you're gonna wait and you're gonna wait and you're gonna become impatient, and then the impatience will just lead you to throwing out the plant. Or yeah. So the trick is to, once you water propagate, at least try, because once a week is obviously a lot of work, especially if you're a busy person. Once a week is a very hard time to try to keep up with your plant all the time, changing the water. But if you don't mind, do it. But if you don't do it, at least try once in 2 weeks, because if you prolong the period, you might have mosquito larvae laying their eggs there, and then mosquitoes take a very short breeding period, I think 8 to 12 days to become mosquitoes. So you don't want it to be a breeding ground. So at least try change the water as much as you can. So yeah. So the cons of water propagation is it's, I don't say it's time consuming. It's time consuming and you have to change the water. It's a lot of work. It requires a lot of patience. Pros, you get to have new plants. Yeah. So that's it on water propagation. If you have any more questions, you can ask me in the comment section. And yeah.